Right. It's 5:46, so let's begin. Happy New Year. If this is the first time you practice with me, I usually suggest to have two blocks nearby. If you don't have blocks at home, it's okay. I will provide some options, but if you have some like water bottles or dumbbells or big textbook nearby that can serve similar function as a block. And it's nice to have a blanket nearby as well for you to sit on, or padding your knees, especially you have a very thin mat. For today's class, you can also bring a strap nearby, which I actually don't usually teach my class with a strap, but for today's is totally optional. For some of the poses we want to progress to that, it's definitely handy with a strap. If you do not have a strap at home, you can get an old t-shirt or belt or towel, something that anything that you can wrap around and hold on by both ends. So take a minute to find those props as you need. Once you gathered all those tools you need, that you can come down onto your bag and bring the blocks to your side in case you need them. Bring the strap if you have some have it as well. Leave it by your side. Extend the legs out and just let the arms resting by the side. Rest the back of you into the mat. And gaze start looking for a steady point on the ceiling to focus on. And start making the sound of your breath audible. Take your time to arrive. We'll do all of the things step by step. No rush. And if you feel your eyelids are getting heavy, you can fully close your eyes, but still stay connected to your breath. Take some big breath in all the way to the diaphragm. Press the low back into the ground. And rise your belly, rise your chest. And exhale, let everything out. As the rib cage fall. Take a big breath in. And exhale, release everything out. And one more time together like that. Big inhale. Feel in the diaphragm, the low belly, the rib cage, and all the way up to the chest. And exhale, let everything out. Can stay breathing like that. Option to bring the right hand on top of your belly and left hand on top of your heart. We'll take some big breath in and out just to prepare for 3-part breath today. Take a big breath in. Feel the belly rising, the rib cage, and all the way up to the chest. Next, the chest to fall back, the rib cage, and then the low belly. One more time like that. Inhale, just like pulling water into the bottle all the way, filling up the low belly. the rib cage, and the chest. And exhale, slowly release everything out. Let the hands fall with the rhythm, with the chest, with the rib cage, and the low belly. Last time like that. Inhale, feel in the bottom. Exhale, release everything out. And you can continue like that. You can also practice any other kind of breathing practice you like to go with today. And just as what we just did, but we would introduce a tiny bit pause between each 1/3. So take 1/3 in, breathe into the low belly and pause. Another 1/3 in, rise up the rib cage. And finish the rest all the way to the chest. And exhale, let everything out. Inhale, 1/3 in all the way to the low belly. Imagine your body's like a bottle, you're filling water in. Another 1/3 in the rib cage. Then finish the rest 1/3. And exhale, let everything out. One more time together before I send you to do this on your own. Inhale, 1/3 way into the bottom. Another 1/3 in. And finish the rest. And exhale, let everything out. And continue this Viloma practice on your own. You can interlace your hands and move your hands with each 1/3. You can also just rest the hands by the side. It's your option. And with each pause, if you can stay closer to your breath. Make each 1/3 a little bit more intentional when it comes to unite the breath, body, and mind. In the bottom of the next exhale, finish one more round and slowly come back to your natural breath. And notice if there's anything different with your natural inhale. You can keep your eyes closed. You can also keep your gaze steady on the point on the ceiling. Hug the left knee in. Option to bend your right leg in if that's if hugging your left knee in, you're noticing some short breath. You should bend the right leg in helps. You can roll around the left ankle. And use the right hand to guide your left knee to the right side and extend your left arm out. Keep your left shoulder on the ground. If necessary, slide the block underneath your left knee to give a little bit of support. But focusing on keeping the left shoulder on the ground rather than dropping the left knee towards it. Inhale, sending all the way to the left palm, to the left shoulder. Next, left side body grow. Big inhale. Next, I'll let everything out. And slowly come back to center. Find your strap if you have one. And then wrap the strap around the bottom of the left foot. Extend the left leg long toward the sky and pull the left toes toward your face. So you're extending the back of the left leg. If you do not have a strap, you can just interlace your hands behind the left thigh, then flex the left foot. You'll feel much more supportive if your right leg is bent in. But if you have a really flexible left hamstring, which I do not have, you can option to extend your right leg out. Inhale, pull the left leg close to the chest. Exhale, flex the left foot and pull the left toes towards you. If you have a strap, you can just transfer the strap into the left hand and use the left hand gently press the front of the left thigh to encourage the opening of the back of the left leg. And if your hand interlace behind the left thigh, you can release your left arm, open the left hand to the left side, and slowly extend your left leg to the right side. Keep your left leg straight this time. If you have a strap, continuously to pull the left foot close to you, flex it. If you need a block underneath your left leg, it should be still there. And we're coming back exactly same twist, but with the left leg straight this time. One big inhale, sending all the way to the left hand, and press the left heel away from you. And exhale, start slowly bring the left leg back to center. And bend your left leg in, and we'll switch side. Tuck the right knee into the chest. Roll around the right ankle. And to warm up the spine, we just use a left hand to guide your right knee to the left side. Extend your right arm out. Option to slide a block underneath your right knee if it's too far away from the ground. Focusing on keeping your right shoulder onto the ground. And now sending all the way to the right fingertips. Extend the right knee away from you. Exhale, release everything toward the ground. One more big inhale. Exhale, release. And slowly come back to the center. And we're beautiful next step. Option with a strap. If you have a strap, wrap it around with around the ball of your right foot. Bend your left leg in if you need it. If you do not have a strap, interlace the fingertips, the fingers, and bring it behind the right thigh. Press the bottom of the right foot toward the sky. Flex the right foot. Pull the right toes towards your face. Keep your low back close to the ground. And if you have the strap in your hands, transfer it into your left hand. With or without strap, start releasing right arm to the right side. And on the exhale, release the right leg to the left side. Focus continues on the right shoulder, stay on the ground. Your left leg can bend. This can be a block underneath your right leg if you need the support. Big inhale. And exhale, send the right hand long away from you. And on the next exhale, start slowly. Come back to center. And bend your right leg in. Drop the strap to the side if you have it. Bend both legs in. Bring the heels close to sit bones. Press your palms into the ground. If you have a block, option to bring the block in between the thigh bones. Inhale, lift the tailbone up. Then the low back, then the mid back, all the way come up to the shoulders. On the exhale, start slowly, upper back, mid back, low back, and tailbone down onto the ground. We'll pulse like that a couple times together. Inhale, tailbone, low back, mid back, and upper back. Press firmly into the palms and the elbows. Exhale, release all the way down to the ground. One more time like that. Exhale, release, keep the chest open. Next time when your pelvis is up, squeeze into the block in between the thigh bones. If you have another block, you can bring it underneath your sacrum for a supported bridge. If you do not have it, you can interlace your hands and roll up onto your shoulders for an active bridge pose. Keep the chest open, squeeze the knees in, and press the pelvis toward the sky. Let the strength being built in the back of the legs. Next, start slowly release everything down to the ground. And for the next little bit, I do find it's very helpful, much more helpful if your hips are elevated to a point. So if you have the textbook or something, lift your tailbone up and rest a block or a book or something that underneath your sacrum. You can reach your left hand towards your left ankle. This is where you can stay. Option 2, grab the left ankle with your left hand and pull the left ankle towards your torso. So the top of your left foot will be on the ground and left knee will pointing toward the front of the mat. So it's a really big left quad stretch. If your left hand and left ankle are not connected, just go toward that direction. Pull them towards each other. If they're still far away and if you like to create a connection to a prop, you can use a strap or a towel or something that similar. And start slowly step the left back onto the ground. I'm going to do the other side. Reach your right hand for the right ankle that may or may not touch. This is where you can stay. You can also lift up your right knee and grab the right ankle with the right hand and bring the top of the right foot onto the ground and point the right knee toward the front. Keep the chest open. Keep the pelvis open. Just let the front of the right leg getting stretched. Once you're ready to come out, slowly step your right foot back toward the ground. If you're on low back on something, lift the pelvis up and release it down and hug the knees into the chest to make start flow. You can roll up onto one side. You can also just rock back and forth. And we'll all meet in a table with your hands underneath your shoulders and knees underneath your hips. If you have a thin mat, take some time to spread the blanket across the mat so you have some padding underneath your knees. Then move some cow and cat or other movements that you'd like to introduce into practice tonight. So all those small things we're building, we're gonna add them and evolve based on them. And once you're done with your cow and cat or other kind of movements, come back into a table. And extend your left leg long, hug both thigh bones toward the midline so you stabilize yourself first. An option to lift your left leg up. You can start slowly getting light onto your right hand. You can even come up onto the fingertips of the right hand. Option to extend your right arm forward. Your right fingertips and left heel pointing towards opposite direction, so let that to stabilize your body. Take a big inhale, reaching through those directions. Exhale slowly with the control and draw your left knee in, draw your right elbow in. You may or may not touch. Inhale, reopen the right hand and left leg. And exhale, draw the right elbow towards the left knee. Last time like that. Next time when it's reopen, release your right hand down and pull the right heel in, but in a way that the sole of your left foot pointing towards the sky. So your left knee is not split open to the side. It's still pointing toward the ground. Just bending the left leg in and press the left foot toward the sky. And if you are adventurous, you can even just to check it by bringing your right hand onto your small back to make sure your pelvis is still even. You can also bring a block on the bottom of your left foot to remind it to stay that way. Concentrate on your breath. If any one of this is taking your attention away from your breath, though, can bring more support into your pose by release the leg down or release or move the block away. If you have a block on the bottom of your left foot, remove it. Tuck your right toes. Extend your left leg up. Straighten your right leg into a down dog split. Keep the left heel close to your left sit bone. And rock forward into plank and draw your left knee into the chest. And step your left foot by your left hand and release your right knee down into a low lunge. Hands on the ground or on the blocks. Before we rise up, find a steady point in front of you to focus on first. Open the chest. Can adjust the back, the position of your back knee, so your both thigh bones are hugging toward the midline. An option to climb up on top of the left thigh. An option to raise up the arms for a classic low lunge. Let the pelvis forward and down. Be patient. Take small steps each time. With your hands up, release the hands onto the ground or onto the block. Inhale, reach the chest forward. Exhale, pull the left hip back and straighten the left leg into a half split. Pull the left toes towards you. Inhale, bend back into the left leg. Exhale, left hip back, straighten the left leg. Last time like that. The next time when you bend into a low lunge, tuck your back toes and step your right foot to meet with the left. And fold over the legs. Grab the opposite elbows with the hands. Just let the torso getting close to the top of the thighs. You can just rock back and forth or side to side. And switch the the arms. So if the left arm were on the top, move it to the bottom. Release the hands down. Inhale, hands on the shin or on the blocks, flat back. Exhale, fold over the legs. Release your tailbones down. Hands on the ground or on the blocks. You can bring the blocks to the front if you need them. Or bring the arms by the ears for Uttanasana, chair pose. Inhale, reaching long through the hands and the tailbones toward the back. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale one more time, Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale, fold and rise all the way up. Exhale, hand to heart center by the side, Tadasana. Standing strong on the corners of the feet. Find a steady point in front of you or fully close the eyes, but still imagine there's a steady point for you to focus on. And reconnect with your breath if you've lost that connection somewhere. If your eyes are closed, reopen them. Inhale, raise up the arms. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Hands on the ground on the blocks. Exhale, step left and right into the back into a high plank. Big inhale, lengthen to the spine. Exhale, knees up or down or bend to the elbows. Release all the way down to the belly. Extend the arms toward the back and palms facing down, big thumbs facing out. Inhale, first we just lift the chest up. Ardha Shalabhasana, half locust. We stay here for 1 cycle breath. Now exhale, release. One more time like that. Inhale, lift the chest up. This time, option to float the palm and the top of the feet up as well. One cycle breath. And now exhale, release everything down. Bring the hands by the chest. You can press into a child pose, a table, or a high plank. It will all meet in downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, pedal through the legs, especially the right sides. Rock forward into a high plank and release the knees down. We'll do the other side. Extend the right leg back. Add some rock back and forth. Option to lift up your right leg up, but hug the right thigh bone in, so your right toe is still pointing toward the ground. And you can start shifting weight into the right palm and come up onto the fingertips of the left hand. And only if you feel steady that way, you can attempt to lift up the left arm toward the front. Stay connected to your breath. Stay connected to your center. Press the right heel toward the back and left fingertips toward the front. Take a big inhale. Exhale, slowly draw the right knee in and left elbow in. Inhale, reopen the right leg and left arm. Exhale, right knee in, left elbow in. Last time like that. And this time, release the left hand down for more support. And everything else stay the same. Slowly pull your right heel in and press the right foot toward the sky. Keep hugging the right knee in though. And if you like to, you can also bring the left hand onto your small back to remind your pelvis to stay even, so you're not opening your right knee to the right side. Another option is bring a block onto the bottom of your right foot as a reminder and a checker of the direction of the right foot. Feel strong from the back of the right leg. Press the right foot toward the sky. One more big breath in like this. If you have the block, you can remove it. Tuck the back toes and straighten your left leg and press the right leg up. Next, so draw the right knee into the chest and step the right foot lightly by the right hand and release the left knee down. Adjust the position of your left knee first. Hands on the ground or on the blocks, open the chest. Find a steady point to focus on. An option to climb your hands onto the right thigh. An option to raise up arms by the ears for classic low lunge. Inhale, reaching through the fingertips. Next, release your pelvis towards the ground and forward. Keep hugging both thigh bones in. Next exhale, release your hands down the ground. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, straighten the right leg. Pull the right toes towards you. Inhale, bend back into a low lunge. Exhale, Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. Last time like that. Slow, steady. With some ease. Then tuck your back toes and step your left foot to meet with the right. And this time, bring the big toes together, but keep some space in between the heels. And lift, drop your tailbones down. You can stay in the supported chair pose. You can also raise up the arms by the ears for a chair pose. And what we're gonna do is walk forward onto the balls of the feet. And bring the arms to the back like an airplane. Release back, heels down, and arms forward, and we do it twice more. Rise up onto the balls of the feet and bring the arms to the back. These are all optional. You can just keep your hands where they were in a supported chair pose. And fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Rise all the way up. And exhale, hand to heart center. And all by the side, Tadasana. So as you probably already noticed, we're doing a lot of strength building in the back of the legs today and some chest opening. We are building towards a certain direction, so we're gonna do more of that. We're gonna move to Sun Surya Namaskar B today. If there's any other kind of salute you'd like to stick with, please go for it. Otherwise, come back into a Tadasana. Inhale, sit into a chair, lower your pelvis. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, step left and right to the back and to a high plank. Knees up or down. On the exhale, bend through the elbows. You can release all the way down to the belly. Then on the inhale, hug the elbows in, chest up. Exhale, roll your tailbone up into downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward. Spin down your right heel. Your right toes roughly 45 to 60 degrees toward the front, and imagine someone stepping onto the pinky edge of the right foot. And bring the arms by the ears, right all the way up into a warrior one. Your pelvis are roughly facing forward, but everybody's anatomy is different. Bend into the left leg, right leg straight. Next, exhale, cover your hands down and step your left foot back. You can release all the way down to the belly. You can also this time hug the elbows in halfway on an inhale. Pull your chest forward, straighten both arms into upward facing dog. Next, roll tailbones up into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Step the right foot to the right thumb. Spin down your left heel. Remember the toes are roughly 45 to 60 degrees towards front. Imagine someone stepping onto the left foot. Arms by the ears. Rise all the way up. Keep the right leg bent. Pelvis roughly forward. Warrior one. Exhale, hands down, framing the right foot. Step the right foot back. bend through the elbows. You can come all the way down to the belly, then baby cobra. You can also halfway, then inhale, pull the chest forward. Next, tailbones up into downward facing dog. That is one round of Surya Namaskar B. But you can replace any of those chest opening with a cow pose or Sphinx pose. And you can also replace this downward facing dog with a child pose or folding forward, whatever that suits you. 2 more cycle breath and this downward facing dog before we start moving again. In downward facing dog, make sure you use the spaciousness in between your shoulders and the neck. Roll your biceps towards the front. In the bottom of the next exhale, step by step, or hop forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, sit in to Uttanasana, chair pose. Exhale, rise up, hand through heart center, by the side. That is the completion of one cycle, and we'll do one more round together. Inhale, sit into your chair. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step right and left into a high plank. Take a big inhale. Exhale all the way down to your belly or halfway, then on an inhale. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Exhale, we all meet in downward facing dog with the tailbones up or child pose if you chose to stay close to the ground. Step left foot to the left arm, spin down your right heel. Rise up into a warrior one. Keep your left leg bent, your right leg straight, pelvis roughly forward. Release your hands down. Step your left foot back, bend through the elbows. Chest forward, back bend of your choice. Exhale, tailbones up. Step the right foot to the right thumb, spin down your left heel. Rise up into a strong warrior one. Hands down. Step the right foot back, bend through the elbows. On the inhale, find your back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog or child pose. 3 to 5 rounds of breath here. So here is the purpose is giving yourself a pause moment to reconnect with your breath. So if staying in a downward facing dog does not serve that purpose, come down to a child pose. Even though it might work for you in the last round. The more of your body on the ground, the more support you're getting. And the easier it is to stay connected to your breath. There's no yoga practice without breath. In the bottom of next exhale, step by step, a hop forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, sit into a chair. And rise all the way up, hand through heart center. By the side, Tadasana. Flow one more round on your own. I know it's short, but it's an opportunity to cultivate some ownership in your practice. Now stay quiet. And don't worry if the flow looks exactly as we demoed in the last round. You own your practice. If you're still flowing, take your time. If you arrive early at the front of the mat, I invite you to come back into that intentional Tadasana. Especially if this is the first yoga practice of yours this year. Use this as an opportunity to set an intention, not just for tonight's practice, but also how would you like to create a connection with your yoga practice through this year? If you also arrive at the front of the mat, bring the feet close to each other, but heels not touching. If you're in the Tadasana, slowly blink open the eyes, and we'll come into a chair pose again. And this time, gather hands in front of the heart and bring the right elbow on top of your left thigh, twisting to the left side. Use a press in between the palms to help you to rotate the spine, rotate the chest open. Option 2, open the arms. So there are two options here. There's one option is directly take a big step of the right foot to the back into twisting, simple twisting with the arms open. Another option is just take a big step with your right foot back and then bring your right elbow back on top of the left thigh. Take a long breath in. Lengthen through the spine. Next, right all the way up. With the arms open, twisting the left side. Take a big inhale, open the arms. And exhale, rest your left hand on top of right thigh and right arm by the right ear. Add some side bend and this twist. Then cartwheel both hands to the front. And release your right knee down. Into a low lunge. We'll do one round of half split. Next, I'll bend into your left knee. So from here, if you have a strap, bring the strap close to you. If you do not, don't worry, I'll provide options. So first of all, I'll demo without a strap. Bring the hands on top of your left thigh and pull the right heel close to right sit bone. You can stay like this. Option 2, extend your right arm toward the back. Option 3, establish connection between the right hand and the right ankle. You can stay here. Option 2, raise up the left arm by the left ear. Remove even a little bit more support. This is all step by step. And another option is extend your left hand toward the back as well. And perhaps grab the same right ankle and pull the chest forward and use the right foot to help to straighten both of the arms and open the chest. This is multiple options for when you do not have a strap. If you do have a strap, you can bring it, wrap it around the top of your right foot. Then pull the right foot close to the sit bone. Both hands holding the straps. Bend the elbows, your elbows toward the sky. Then walk the hands toward the right foot. But keep hugging both thigh bones toward the midline. So you choose a way that you want to create a bind in the slow lunge. Once you are done with experimenting with those bind, release the right foot carefully back to the ground and step the left foot back into a high plank. Lower down to the right elbow, then left elbow into a forearm plank. Pull the pelvis towards the spine. And release the pelvis down. Press the chest forward and pull the elbows in. Sphinx pose. Press the top of the feet firmly into the ground. Next, exhale, stack your hands on top of each other and rest your forehead on top. You can add some windshield wiper, like side to side. And when you're ready to move again, hands by the chest, move to child pose, table, high plank, and we all meet in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, step by step, a hop forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Rise all the way up. Exhale, hand to heart center. We'll do the other side. Bring the big toes together, heels slightly apart. Sit into a chair. Arms by the ears or on the blocks if you know you need the support. Bring the hands into heart if you do not need your hands on the blocks. Bring the left elbow on top of the right thigh and use the pressing in between the palms to help you to rotate to the right side. And if your hand on the blocks, you can walk the blocks to the right side. One big breath in, lengthen through the spine, all the way down to the tailbone. Exhale, revolve. Option to open the arms. Option to take a big step with the left foot. You can also come up first and step the left foot back, then come back into this twist. One big inhale. Exhale, right all the way up into a standing twist. Reaching through both fingertips. Hug the thigh bones in. And then exhale, rest your right hand on top of your left thigh and left arm by the left ear, side bend. Big inhale to the left hand. Exhale, cartwheel both hands down onto the ground. Release the left knee down onto the ground. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, straighten the right leg, half split one time. Then come back into a low lunge. Bring the strap close to you if you have it. I forgot to mention last side, if you have a thin mat, make sure your blanket is across the mat. If you do not have a blanket, you can also, like me, half folding the mat in. So your left knee is resting on some extra padding. And then climb your hands on top of your right thigh. You can stay here, absolutely. Let's start with option without the strap. Pull the left heel close to sit bone and stay here. Option 2, extend the left arm toward the back. It may or may not touch the left ankle. Option 2, raise up the right arm by the right ear. Option 2, extend your right hand back as well. And perhaps grab the left ankle with the right hand. And kick that left foot away from you and press the chest up and forward. And if you have a strap, wrap the strap around the top of your left foot. Then grab both ends of the straps. Pull the left foot close to you. Elbows bent. Elbows pointing up toward the sky. Then start slowly. Walk your hands toward the left foot. Whatever kind of bind you have, with control, slowly let the left foot go. Come up onto the hands and step the right foot back into a high plank. Pull the navel toward the spine and pelvis toward the navel and press the heels back. Come down to the left elbow, the right elbow into a forearm plank. Then release pelvis down. Pull the elbows in and chest forward. Sphinx pose. So we've been building towards a relatively deep back bend. You're welcome to stay in this Sphinx pose, but if you want to give bow pose a try, pull both heels in and extend your arms back like locust pose. So your hands may or may not touch the ankles, which is fine. This is broken bow pose. Still a deep back bend. And if they do touch, imagine there's a block in between your knees and focusing on squeezing the block so your knees are not splitting open. And use a kick of the feet, lift your chest up. Press the heels, the bottom of the feet up toward the sky. Lift the thighs, the knees away from the ground. Next, I'll release down. Switch the stack of the hands. You can windshield your legs side to side. Bring the hands by the chest. Press to child, table, or high plank, and we'll all meet in downward facing dog. We'll finish it with one last little bit back bend. Step by step or hop forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Rise all the way up. And hand to heart center. So before you try anything, watch me demo first. There are a lot of things we can do here. You can try come down to low lunge and do that supported king pigeon, king dancer again. Create a bind of your hands and your ankle. You can also just do some cow and cat if you feel like your energy is not at levels for more deep back bending. If you do not have a strap, you can try dancer pose. I would start with this side, standing strong on the right leg, and pull the left heel close to the sit bone and grab the inside of your left ankle with your left hand. Hug the left knee in, raise your right arm up. You can stay here. You can also kick the left foot back, just like in bow pose. And then you can also start slowly lean your chest forward. Find a just steady point for you to focus on. Standing strong to the right leg. This is this side. To come out slowly, release your left foot down. If you have a strap, you can certainly try king dancer pose, which is also similar to dancer pose, but wrap a strap around the top of the left foot. Just as what we did on the ground with a strap. Kick the left foot up first, bend the elbows, then walk the hands closer to the left foot. And if you want to deepen the pose, you can bend into the right leg, which gives a little bit more space to walk your hand further out. Then you re-straighten the right leg. And don't forget to try the other side as well. So use this a minute or two so. And try something that you feel is achievable with things we've been building and also matching your current energy level. So whatever back bend or non-back bending posture you chose, slowly come out of the shape. We'll come into a reverse table first to neutralize the spine. Bend your legs in and hands behind you and press your pelvis up. Just let your head hang, keep the chest open, and release your hips down. Bring the feet as wide as the mat, knock the knees together, and windshield wiper your knees side to side. As slow as you can. Bring some space into the hip sockets, but also to not shock the spine that has been deep bent. Next time, stay to the right side. Take a long breath in. And exhale, let everything out. And the other side. And slowly come back to center. Bring the soles of the feet together and draw the heels close to the pelvis. Hands holding the feet. You can prop yourself onto a blanket or a couch pillow, something that serves as padding. Take a long breath in, lengthen to the spine. Exhale, bend your elbows. Use the elbows to push open the knees to the side and fold your chest toward the feet. Just let your breath slow down naturally. Just use this moment to feel the spine, especially after all those back bending. Notice difference before and after. Regardless if you did some of the more challenging poses, you've been doing enough build up step by step. And start slowly rise back up. Bend both legs, hands forward. You can also grab the back of your thighs. Then start slowly, last a little bit forward. And lower your spine toward the ground. Extend your legs out. Option to bring a pillow underneath your head. Option to bring something heavy but soft across your pelvis to make this Shavasana more grounding. Just let your eyelids getting heavy again or close eyes. Fully trust you've done the best for your practice tonight. Just let the rest go. Shavasana. a long breath in. And exhale, let everything out. And start wiggling your toes, your fingertips. Gently sway your head side to side. And no rush at all. Roll yourself onto one side. And carefully support yourself into a comfortable seat. And if it resonates gesture for you, get your hands in front of the heart. We'll take one big breath together one more time. Big breath in. Exhale, release. And bow your head towards the heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me tonight. When you're ready, slowly blink open the eyes.